Good evening, my friends. It's Krebs here, and welcome to another episode of War Thunder. It is a bit of a late evening over here. In fact, it's about 10 at night. Yeah, it's kind of late to be making videos, but nobody's home. It's nice and quiet, and I can concentrate on actually making some videos for you guys. So, how are you going to be entertaining us today, Krebs? How are you going to be informing us? How are you going to make us better pilots? Today, I'm going to be showing you guys some Japanese planes. And in fact, I'm not going to be... My usual order is I like to start from low to high, so the reserve planes, and work my way up. But to be honest with you guys, the Japanese planes suffer a little bit because if you look at their tree, they really don't have many planes at all. Let's compare it to the USSR, for example. Ooh, so much more. Actually, even the Germans. Wow, a lot more. Now let's go back to the Japanese, and you'll see just how little planes they have to offer. And if you're a fighter specialist, a person who likes to play fighters like me, I love playing fighters, then you'll find it a little bit frustrating playing the Japanese because they don't have much to actually put on the table at the moment. So this is actually why I've left the Japanese last to level up amongst all the factions I've been playing so far. And what are my general impressions on them? I think we'll get onto that when I'm in actual games. I'm gonna feel a bit bad for some of you Japanese lovers out there, but to be honest, my impressions aren't all that great. However, on certain occasions they can be good, and I'm gonna get onto that in just a few minutes. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the planes that we're gonna be flying in today. So starting from bottom to top, we'll be taking a look at the D3A1 Banana Bomber H6K4, just a big gigantic banana shaped plane. The A6M2N, which can land on water. That's tier 4. What else do we have to offer? Tier 5, we've got the Kai 61 Hien, and also another Hien, the bigger brother, over here, which is tier 6. We've also got the A6M2, the Japanese captured American F4U-1A Corsair. We've also got the Japanese acquired German Bf109E3. And finally, at tier 8, we've got the A6M3 Horizon. Okay, so let's talk about these planes a little bit. The thing is, when you play the Japanese in the early stages, you'll notice that they're quite maneuverable, whatever, right on throughout. To be honest, they're going to be quite maneuverable. But, reserve planes and such, they will suffer in terms of firepower. They will suffer. And I know we're not doing the reserve planes just now, but the lower tier ones, they really don't have the best of armaments. For example, let's take a look at the D3A1 over here. Tier 2, it's an attacker. So it's quite slow. You can see the maximum speed and turn time is not the best at all. But its armament, it has about two 7.7mm machine guns, which I suppose at least there's 2 of them, but still, this is the tiny cannons. It's not even like the 12.7mm, it's 7.7mm. These are tiny little machine guns that they have, and only 2 of them as well. You'll have trouble shooting down anything when you're actually flying this. It has a turret on the back. Does that make up for it? I don't really think so. The Banana Bomber, just a gigantic flying boat, essentially. I'll show you guys actually what it looks like, and maybe you'll understand why I call it Banana Bomber. See, it's a bit of a big old shape, and it's green, so it hasn't ripened yet. So, yeah, it'd be kind of funny if you could color this thing yellow or something, but I call it the Banana Bomber. Just a gigantic thing. Has a lot of turrets on it, so you can troll around with it. In lower tier matches, we've got the A6M2N, a slight improvement over the D3A1, has better armaments because of the 20mm cannons available to it, but still, it's a sluggish plane, and at tier 4, honestly, the last thing you want to do is be sluggish. It can turn really well, but it has problems of actually maneuvering at high speeds, and this is a common thing with a lot of Japanese planes. Tier 5, the Hien, maximum speed has massively increased over the A6M2N. You can see that has jumped up about 150 or so kilometers per hour. Turn time just about the same. And its armaments are It doesn't have the 20mm cannons available to the A6M2, but still pretty good firepower on it. I don't think you'll be killing stuff as fast as the A6M2, but, you know, sometimes you will be killing faster due to the maneuverability on this thing, because you can actually stay behind people at higher speeds. The Bf-109E3 and the F4U Corsair are essentially the same things as their German and American counterparts, so no real point in actually taking a look at those. The other Hien over here, the bigger brother of the previous one, has better armaments with 4 12.7mm HO 103 machine guns rather than the 2 and then the 7.7 attached. However, it's pretty much better in actually every single way. Why am I saying however? Yeah, look at that. The turn time and even the maximum speed is slightly better. So this is definitely the bigger brother out of both of them. The A6M2, the Ryzen, these are the zeros, by the way, guys. The A6M line of planes are all the zeros, and there's a reason why they were called zeros. In fact, back in the 1940s, when the first initial models were coming out, they were designated the title of Type 0, and so that is why people have been calling them zeros, because they were called Type Zeros, and I guess the Americans just wanted to call it something shorter, and that's how they came up with the actual name of zeros. They have, in the beginning of the war, they actually had a very, very, very powerful name to them. In fact, these things were killers. They were killers of the sky, to say the least. In fact, when the Americans only had the Wildcats, maybe we can find it real quick. When the Americans had the... No, that's a Corsair. Here we go. They got the Wildcat loaded up. When the Americans had the Wildcats, what was actually happening was that the Zeros were actually getting about 12 kills to 1 death. And that's simply because these Wildcats were just so sluggish. The Zeros had such greater maneuverability and speed over the Wildcat that it actually wasn't until later when the Corsairs started actually coming out. And the Corsairs were equipped with stronger engines. They were equipped with a 2,000 horsepower engine, in fact, almost double the amount of what the Zeros had available to them, that the Corsairs actually started to make a gain on the Zeros and turn the tide of war. Let alone also the tactics and such stuff like that. But I think I'm getting a bit off straight with actually talking about the Japanese plane. So let's actually go on over back to the Japanese. This is the Ryzen over here. You see that I have two of them, A6M2 and the A6M3. The A6M3 is essentially, well, just about the same sort of thing, except it has slightly better speed, slightly better, not really turn time. Turn time is actually a little bit worse. But it has the Mark II cannons available to it instead of the Mark I. The Mark IIs are actually slightly better than the Mark I due to, well, it's actually up to a matter of opinion. Because if you look at the Mark II and the Mark I, Mark II, 120 rounds of ammunition. Mark I, 200 rounds of ammunition. The Mark I actually fires at a faster fire rate than the Mark II, but the Mark II actually has a faster velocity, so you won't have to lead your targets so much. You won't have to aim so far forward in front. So, matter of up to opinion which one you find actually better. Personally, I'd actually go for better fire rate, and also bigger ammo size. But hey ho, that is what the Japanese are like. So anyway, I think that's a good analysis and good starter. So what we'll do is we'll get into some actual battles, and I might as well actually talk some more history about the Ryzens and the Type 0, the actual Zero planes. So they were, as I was saying at the beginning of the war, very, very powerful. 12 kills to 1 death in them. They actually made a name for themselves. They'll go out for the A6M3. What they were trying to do early on was that they were trying to be as fast and maneuverable as possible. They didn't have the same amount of technology that the Americans had later on with the stronger engines. They only had something weaker available to them. They only had ones that could reach about 1,000 horsepower. And so what they did to compensate it and give themselves better maneuverability was they just simply decreased the weight of the plane. In fact, the Type Zeros, when they had nothing equipped, when they were just empty, they were 4,000 pounds empty. That's light as hell. That's absolutely crazy. And when they were actually fully loaded with fuel and ammo, they were about 5,300 or so pounds. And still, that's very, very light. So you get an idea of just how these things are so maneuverable. But anyway, here we go. One thing that I actually noticed with these planes is that they lock out very, very quickly. When you start exceeding very fast paces and speeds like I'm going at right now, 635 kilometers and taking on up, it becomes extremely hard to roll. I suppose it's just about on any plane, but you can especially feel it in these ones. And it's not only when you're going so fast, it's also when you're actually flying around normally. This thing has such a big problem in rolling. I can't find where the hell this guy is gone. Where are you? I actually don't know where he is. Whatever, Krebs. Just forget about it. Focus on these guys down here. Go kill steal this guy. Whatever. And Typhoon. Okay. Kitty Hawk up there. We've got a Havoc just behind me. So we will just turn around a little bit, get behind him, and there we go. We're on a 6. I mean, the Havoc's not really going to be going anywhere that fast anyway, and it's a good thing that his gunner's out. Yeah, nice. 2 kills already. My initial impressions in these actual Type Zeros, these ones specifically, the A6M2 and the A6M3, they're really not that good. I know this is maybe not the best of examples because I've already got 2 kills in them, but to be honest with you guys, look, this is me trying to roll. You'll notice how slow it is to roll in these things. And that could be a very big deciding factor in whether you survive in a match. Oh, looked like he was taking a number of shots on me. Look how fast I actually started dying there. Let's finish him off. There we go. But that's a big deciding factor, and the only reason I'm actually getting to get so many kills right now in this plane is because I'm actually going for bombers. I'm going for targets that aren't normally going to be able to fight against me. When you're trying to dogfight in this plane, it'll be a lot more difficult, and just because these planes were made out of essentially wood, okay? The fuselage, the entire plane was essentially just almost one piece, not the entire thing, like, oh, the engine was built in with the actual fuselage itself. But I mean, the wings and the fuselage was one big piece. It wasn't like the American designs where the wings were then attached to the actual main chassis of the plane. This is just one big piece. It's made out of wood. It's hollow, in fact. You can knock on this plane and just hear the emptiness inside of it. And so just taking hits from just about anything in this game in real life also made a big impact on your plane. You could be shot down so easily, and yeah, indeed, you can be shot down very easily, especially in dogfights in this. A single shot from a Yak 9T will down you most certainly. Going behind bombers like what I'm doing right now can be a deadly endeavor. But yeah, I'm just going for it anyway. I find that my most favorite planes for the Japanese to actually fly out in are the Hyens. You guys saw the pretty fast speed on them. Also, they have no problems with rolling, which I find very, very important. And I want to show you guys the Hyen a little bit later, hopefully sometime soon. I don't want the game to end too early. But one of the best ways to actually play the Japanese, and if you have trouble flying the Japanese, I know sometimes people have trouble flying the Japanese, they die really, really easily. One of the best ways to fly Japanese is on certain maps, such as the ones like this one, or African Grand Canyon, is that what it's called? I don't know. African Canyon, I think that's more so what it's called. Ones that have obstacles on it. Because the nice thing about the Japanese, as we were saying quite frequently, they have very, very good maneuverability. They can just go along, outturn anyone, and that's absolutely fantastic on maps like these, where what you'll do is actually you'll snug along the side of a mountain, and you will use that to your advantage. So people will be trying to chase you. You've got a mountain right next to you, And all you do is you simply just climb along the mountain, you skid along it, and people will have so much trouble trying to even take you out. Because they're not as maneuverable, they can't do these sharp turns, and especially if you do almost like a Chandelle maneuver. I'll show you guys what the Chandelle maneuver is in a separate video, but a Chandelle maneuver where you're actually flying upwards and doing a sharp turn. Like this almost, like that, and then over to the side. You can just out-turn people so easily when you've got a mountain beside you. On maps like, such as Wake Island, Lonely Island, and Pelelu, those can be a lot harder to actually play on because there's no obstacles at all. It can be an absolute pain in the ass to try to dogfight on those maps. And what I actually do on open maps in the Japanese is I'll take up a more defensive role where I will just actually defend against enemy bombers and such, rather than going in balls deep, as I like to say, into the heart of a swarm. Because if you go in the heart of a swarm, you know, as soon as somebody gets behind you, you can take on one enemy bandit, no problem, okay? But as soon as two, maybe you can take on two, depending on what they do. But as soon as you have a whole dogfight around you, no chance, man, no chance. No point of even trying to fight. Uh-oh. 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 Whoa! Wow! That was close. That was close indeed. I don't think I was even using my combat flaps there to get away from that. Just goes to show just how maneuverable these things are. Like what this guy's doing, trying to evade. He's not flying as erratically as I think he should be, though. Okay, Krebs, you gotta be careful. Yeah. To actually keep on going for him and take him down, or to risk it for a biscuit. I don't know. Risk it for a biscuit or fly away and hopefully not crash into your ally. Well, there you go. Play on the safe side, eh? So I guess what you could say is I'm playing a bit defensively at the moment, just waiting for the enemies to come down to me rather than going to them. Ooh. Typhoon's not going to have much of a chance out-turning me. No way. Not against the Zero. Look at that. Look at these sharp turns. Almost doing these Chandelle maneuvers. No problem. I can almost... I barely even need to, like, turn my rudder. And yeah, in arcade battles you got, like, a super duper rudder. All I almost need to do is just use my mouse in a way to take on these planes. Wow. Typhoon, you're screwed. Another sort of irritating thing in these planes is that they actually heat up very, very quickly. Oh my gosh. I didn't even get to show you guys some other planes. Well, I think what I'm going to do is actually jump on into another match. So I can show you what the other ones are like. That one ended very, very quickly. Award Survivor. Nice. I like. Oh, did you guys hear that? There's actually some Japanese music in the background playing. That is awesome. I've never actually noticed that before. That is pretty cool. So let's go ahead and jump on into another match here. The Zeros were historically known to be long-range fighters. And I don't know, I feel like I'm supposed to be painting these A6M3s and A6M2s in a bad light, because honestly guys, I know I had a 6 kill to 0 death round match right there, but I'm telling you, it's not normally like that. No way in hell. When I'm flying these A6M3s, A6M2, it's actually hard enough to get 1 kill. I don't know how I managed to get 2 kills there, or 6 kills. But they were typically known to be long-range fighters. In fact, at the beginning of World War II, I'll go on my yen here. In the beginning of World War II, they were actually able to reach about, say from base, they were able to extend about 560 miles out, do long-range covering missions for their bombers, and then reach all the way back to base as well. 560 miles, okay? It wasn't until about 1943, 1944 when the Mustang for the Brits were actually able to reach Berlin from England. That being about a 460 mile journey. 460 miles, 100 miles short of what the Zeros were doing at the beginning of the war. That the Allies actually had something capable of doing such a long long journeyed missions and actually make it back to base. But yeah, anyway, okay, so we've got some targets down here. I'm just going to swoop on down for the A20G. So I think what we'll do is apply some of these, what I've been saying in the last match. Wow, that guy's already dead. What I'm going to do is apply what I was saying in the last match, because this is Pearl Harbor, and it's quite an open dogfight-ish map. It's kind of a bad idea to go into the heart of the dogfights and expect to survive. Honestly, one of the best ways to actually get kills in this as a Japanese is kamikaze. Not. No, seriously, one of the best ways is to actually just be defensive. I know I shouldn't be overextending like this. I really shouldn't be. And in fact, I'm actually going to get out of here. Yeah, let's get out. Who do we got? Who do we got? Spitfire. And now all I'm gonna use is my maneuverability. Look at that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No. 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 Don't think that was a good idea. Started turning a bit awkwardly there. Pea shooter. Whatever. Just in front of me. I just want to make it all the way back to base right now. And I think I'm gonna have somebody on my 6, so it's gonna be a dumb idea to keep on going back to base with a tail of guys behind me. So all I'm gonna do is just swoop on around. Oh my god, somebody's on me, and try to lose these guys. I got a Spitfire. Spitfires aren't nice, not friendly at all. I'm surprisingly taking a number of more shots here than I'd normally anticipate. We've got Corsair just behind me, flaming Wellington just in the sky. Why not take a few shots? I don't know what the hell is hitting me. Let's go get the Spitfire. Wow, I'm surprisingly, I don't know how the hell I'm alive right now. Corsair right behind me. Wow, this is my historical nemesis, the Corsair right now. And yeah, Krebs is going down. I'm flaming. I'm flaming. Wow. Yeah, it wasn't until the Corsair actually came out in later on in the Pacific battles that they had something to counter the zeros. So that's one Hien. Let's go out in the other one. This one doesn't have the same powerful armaments as the bigger brother, the 1B. And let's see what we can make out of it. Alright, so a bunch of guys down there. F4U Corsair. Should we go for that guy? Should we teach him a lesson that the Zero can still stand up to that thing? Oh man, I've heard some absolutely crazy stories of aces that flowing in these Zeros. Tsubora Sakai. Absolutely crazy stuff. Alright, here we go, SU2. May as well just go for him, turn on my combat flaps. He's going way too fast. Let's apply what we learned in the last video of the lagging maneuver. Hello, Ichi. I think he wants to come from me, so all I'm gonna do is use my maneuverability. Oh my god, but we've got 3 guys on me, which ain't fun at all. F4U has decided to go off, so all I'm gonna do is just keep on going for the guys that want to kill me. Ah, come on, HE. And Bullfighter, take a shot, why not? Maybe you could always finish him, he's flaming. Where the hell is everyone? Honestly, seriously, I think... Oh, I lost that HE for a second there. I think I got so preoccupied with the Bullfighter. Come on, Bullfighter, what are you doing? You are a flaming mess. You are actually just a flaming mess. And I just need to get off because... I thought I had somebody on me. Wow. we've got a number of guys behind me. I think that HE, yeah, he's pulling off now, and all I'm gonna do is come on back. Oh god. Not the air cobra. Wow. He was really intent on killing me, but he's ballsy. He is really ballsy because he is just coming on right out here. And I don't even know why he's trying to outmaneuver me. Maybe he's just trying to go for someone else, I don't know. But he's flaming up like mad. It's probably the beauty of the incendiary rounds. He's gonna explode. Oh, the only reason I'm chasing after him is because I just want to finish him off and get this kill. Woo! What is going on? This is just a massive mess, and I don't know why there's pea shooters in this match. Because what is a pea shooter honestly gonna do? Tickle me? Okay, it's a lag. And now we've already set him on fire. Look at this easy turning! Easy turning! Easy! All with the mouse. All with the mouse. There was no rudder there. That was actually no rudder. Because his turning angle, his turn was so wide. Also some speed in there, but the turn was so wide, just gave me such a great chance to just use my mouse singly to turn on him. Okay, so all I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna go in there, cause look at that. You know, what's the point of getting into a big soup of red? You know, I don't want to be adding into the red, just killing myself. So all I'm gonna do is play defensively. Just wait for somebody to overextend, and you know, I'll teach him something about it. Some easy targets there. No, he's gone. So being an opportunistic fighter is all that I'm trying to say. There's a few guys here that maybe I can easily go for. Yeah. Cobra! No! Man, that was hard to actually judge how he was coming in. I could easily have avoided that, to be honest, guys. I could easily have avoided that. It's kind of hard to judge how he was coming in. He was coming in really fast, and it looked like he was going to the side, and then I guess he must have turned all of a sudden. What should I go in next? We didn't give the A6M2 some love. We gave the A6M3 some love in the last round, so we'll go out into that. Is there a point of showing you guys the premium planes? Because we've already taken a look at the BF 109s and the Corsair. So anyway, let's get back to this. So we've got the Type 0 here. Look at that slow roll. Okay, this is me like holding down the key as hard as I can to roll. And it's not rolling. It is not rolling. Well, it was actually noticed when people, when Americans actually captured these Japanese planes, is actually just that. Just how hard it was to roll. Initially they captured one of these, oh my god. One of these Japanese planes on Akutan Island. And when the experts were taking a look at just the general, you know, specifics of the plane, they noticed that when they were flying it, as soon as it started reaching around 400 or so kilometers an hour, it would be fine. But as soon as it started going above that, 400 and above, it started to just lock up. The controls locked up, and that was due in fact because as I was saying in the previous game, is because the plane was just one big piece. The fuselage and the wings, they were just one big piece. It wasn't just separately connected to each other. And what was actually built into it was that it would start locking up. The controls would start locking up after it started reaching a certain speed, just so that there wasn't wing failure and the plane wasn't going to be, you know, losing control and crashing, right? Kill assist. So again, playing just defensively. That's all I am doing in this plane. I'm not going out in there. If you ever watch my other videos, I'm trying to get, you know, balls deep right in the middle of the enemy. I don't know, I'm an aggressive player. But sometimes you just gotta, you know, learn that you can't do it within, like in old planes. This is just one of them. You need to appreciate your limitations and learn to take advantage of what you can actually do. Ouch. Took a number of shots there. And well, like what I was saying before, irritating part, overheats like mad. Look at how fast this thing heats up. The gun. Look at how fast it heats up. The Peshka is just getting away, and now Krebs is out of position here. I'm flying just above the Spitfire. And I don't know, I'm just intent on killing this thing, that's all. I've got blood in my eyes. I'm just trying to make a review of these planes, so you know what? It doesn't matter. Who cares if I get killed? It's only expected. Okay, we've got Aerocobra there. And we can help out my teammate here as well. I don't know, they're both being tailed. Just go over here where they seem to be near. And just help out against this Peshka. Come on, Peshka. I actually find it easier to almost play this plane like a bowfighter in a way, funnily enough. Rather than trying to rely on rolling, you rely on just going onto, or relying on just like, you know, using a rudder, for example. You just roll onto your side and just use that to maneuver around. Come on, man. Let's use my throttle and slow down a little bit here. Come on, Krebs. Finish him off. Yeah, that's it. That is it. Managed it. Got a Buffalo as well. Come on. Ah! I think that's a yak. It's only a yak. Aircraft destroyed. Kitty Hawk coming straight on in. Look at that yak, still making his turns. And now I'm just coming out of my turn. Yeah. Nice and easy. There comes the yak again. Now, I think it's time to go for the yak. Yeah. I think he's just more intent on killing me. Oh, no, that Kitty Hawk still wants a piece of me as well. Alright. Look at that sharp. Nice and easy turns. Nice and easy. No problems at all. If anything, what these guys should be doing is the thatch weave. Again, another maneuver I'll explain in a future video. But it makes so much more sense because the whole reason how the Allies actually started to combat these Zeros wasn't only the Corsairs, you know, that would start evening out. It was also some advanced tactics that they started coming up in the F4F Wildcats. They started using this maneuver called the thatch weave, where essentially two planes, if they were being tailed on by the enemy fighter, the Zero, because they were so slow, they couldn't outpace the Zero, and so what they would do, they would essentially, these two fighters, fly in opposite zigzags, so that on the cross of the zigzags, they would be able, one would be able to be a meat shield essentially, and the other would be able to knock out the tailing Zero. Okay, 2 for 9 at the moment. We've got an Aerocobra over here. Ooh, 2 ships left. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that Cobra. Hello, Hellcats. I think my wing's starting to turn black. It's turning a bad color. Nice. Good job. Now some Hurricanes. Coming on up this way. And I think that's about it. Yeah. That's it. Just this Hurricane. Krebs could reload, but nah, who cares? Even if I don't get the kill. These are good enough games. Come on, Hurricane. You're the last one on your team. You're flying solo, aren't you? Yeah, that's him gone. You tried. Look at those sinking ships. Wow. Sight for sore eyes, eh? Whatever. Try to go for this Aerocobra. And there's another one, I think, coming on. Where is he? No? Changed or something. I think he changed out into the Bullfighter. Fair enough. Maybe he feels like that's going to be the game changer. Nice, so Air Cobra's going for the blend. Easy target, come on. Is it necessary? Oh, you got him. Okay, everyone's going crazy here. Look at that guy. He went definitely mental on that palm tree. Yeah, he went flying into that palm tree. There we go. Getting the last kill there, I think. 2 for 10. And there we go, guys. That is the Japanese planes. Oh man, I feel awful. Like I feel like I was supposed to show off these planes and be like, oh no, they're not the best planes out there. But to be honest, that actually felt really, really nice. And as I was saying, I think it really just comes down to playstyle. Play with them defensively on open maps. You can play with them offensively on maps of obstacles, but make sure you keep near those obstacles because they will save your life. But yeah, anyway, I think that pretty much summarizes these Japanese planes. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you found it informative. Until next time, I will catch you all later.
Right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.